The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 409. Been recording on November the 8th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Junior, also known as Chief Box Out today. I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the Best Coast, the GunnyChief, and Lee Merrill is back. Welcome back, and Lee, welcome!
Hey, what's up, horrible people? GunnyChief, what's going on, guy? What's happening?
Howdy. Not much. Everything's going good over here on the West Coast, Best Coast. I don't know about Little Ohio, though. Mayo is gone this week once again.
What's he up to?
Once again. I wonder. Makes me wonder.
The Mayo, and I also hear that Evan made it back to California. Is that true? He escaped?
I don't think he did. No.
I haven't heard from him.
I think he's still in Ohio. I think he's in Ohio till December, maybe, or the end of this month.
Damn.
That's crazy, dude.
December.
Didn't that turn from like what a May trip or a June trip to a fucking like a 6 months
or something?
6 month trip.
We'll be seeing him on like a documentary telling his story.
Yeah.
Right?
I survived Ohio. It'll be a Netflix documentary.
It wasn't just Mayo, it was Mayo's cult. Really,
yeah.
they were the ones to. Oh, the story gets darker.
I survived. Anyways, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow us on Twitter at _Horrible Gamers. We serve you on iTunes, Spotify as well. You can also head on over to Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's our closed group. You join that group. We also have a page, Horrible Gamers Podcast. On there, you can like the page as well. The page will have a link to the group, I'm pretty sure. And you can also head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Horrible Gamers, and give us your monies like our friends Leahy, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Patrick, Chad, and Liam, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, Evan, self-proclaimed Pokemon Master, Big Mommy Milkers, Big D Tanaka, Jonathan Titan, Big D Hall, and the first HGP patron, Bale, still even the biggest D, Garner the second, the Elden Lord. That's right.
Thank you, guys.
And yeah, big shout out to Phantom Inc. for the intro and outro music to the podcast. Phantom Inc. You can find their music on everything, or his music on everything. YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music. It's everywhere. Phantom Inc. Yeah. And Redbubble, go buy some shirts and shit. Go, whatever. You know what the fuck.
Get your hoodies and.
We go through this every week. You know what to do. Head on over there. Anyways, let's talk about video games this week, and we've been playing Gunny. I've played some games. Okay.
What kind of games did you play?
Okay. Yeah, I played Call of Duty, of course. I played some more of that. I reached level 55 finally. That's the max level.
Nice. And after last week's podcast, you were able to get that resolution fix that was crashing your computer?
Yeah, so the fix was I had to uninstall all the drivers, download driver 522.25 on NVIDIA's website, and use that driver. Now, there are still crashes if you have any overlays on. So when I say overlays, I mean anything that NVIDIA uses in the background. So if you have NVIDIA broadcast running, that will crash your game. Also, if you have like that the FPS counter up, which sometimes I would usually have that up on every game. If I have it up in Call of Duty, it'll also make it crash. So you have to disable all that. You have to turn off your overlays and turn off NVIDIA broadcast if you have it running in the background. So I turned that off in the background, and I pretty much haven't had any crashes since then. Now, they did say that they released a hotfix. NVIDIA did, which you would have to go to the support site to get the hotfix. And that is for the latest driver, 546.46 or something like that, whatever the fucking driver is. So I did go do that. I downloaded the driver. I downloaded their hotfix, and that didn't fix the crashing. That only fixed some issue that I never had, which some users had apparently, which was every so often while playing a match, the game would just go completely white. Like the screen would be like completely bright white, like almost like a flashbang went off. But it was constantly on your screen, so you could kind of see the edges of whatever was going on in your map, like in your game. But like the main part of your screen, the center of your screen, if not most of it, was completely white. And apparently that hotfix only fixed that issue itself. That one issue with the white screen is what it fixed. It didn't fix the crashing. It didn't fix the freezing. It didn't fix the hiccups. But reverting the drivers back to the old drivers fixed all that for me. Like literally the game runs pretty good now. No issues with it whatsoever. The only downside, like I said, is I don't know how many frames I'm getting, and I don't even know if I'm hitting like over 60 in some of these matches. Because I ran a benchmark on it, because there's a benchmark setting in the game that you can run and see how good your shit's doing or whatever. And before, with the newest drivers, my benchmark reached 130 FPS, pretty good. With the latest one, it only reached 77. Sometimes it only reached 60, and then sometimes it only reached like 66. So I don't know if those drivers don't run really good with the game or what the hell's going on there. But yeah, so I'm hoping I'm getting more than 60 frames. I'm trying. I mean, I have everything set to max on the settings. But I did go in there and turn on DLSS performance mode. I think I actually turned on ultra performance mode to try to get more frame rates out of the game or whatever. So one of the modes that I kind of discovered this week, Gunny, was Ground War. I know I played that in the beta, but played in the full game release now. It's actually really fucking cool, man. So it's just think of Battlefield Conquest, but Call of Duty style. So there's like 5 checkpoints on the map. 5 different flags. There's 2 teams of like, I want to say each team has 40 players maybe. So there's 2 teams of 40 players, maybe more, I don't know. But obviously one team starts on one side, one team starts on the other side, and you have to capture all the flags and hold them or defend them or whatever. And bleed the other enemy team from tickets and or kills. You have to kill them, which will lower their ticket count and all that. But it's so much fun, dude. There's so much chaos on these huge, huge maps. There's a lot of places to hide. And it's really fucking cool, man. I really like that mode, Gunny. In a couple other matches, I actually ended up getting the gunship, which is the AC-130. And that shit is cool as fuck when you're in that match, dude. And you have a gunship, you're like, oh, gunship inbound. And you're in the gunship. And you're just fucking, you see all these red dots everywhere because there's so many players on the map. You see all these fucking red, you're just fucking lighting up all the objectives. You're like, fuck yeah. So good. And like in one match, I got a gunship and then I got a chopper gunner right afterwards. So it was a fun match. Yeah. And then another match, I ended up getting the Juggernaut finally. I ended up unlocking that kill streak and I got it. But that one I only got in a random care package. Like a care package dropped down. It said pick up your care package. I did. And it was like, oh, you're a Juggernaut now, and you run around with the minigun and you fuck everybody up. That shit was a lot of fun.
With the gunship, does that work on like a timer? Is that what it does?
It is a timer, yeah. It's a timer technically. They don't have it. They don't call it a timer. It's more like they call it fuel. So it shows like a little fuel gauge on the side of your screen that'll say how much fuel your plane has, and it doesn't last very long. It literally only lasts like at most maybe a minute.
Nice.
Like maybe it seems long for people on the ground, but when you're the one shooting the guns, you're like, this was nothing, dude. Like I felt like the guns had to reload a bunch of times, and I didn't get a lot of kills with it. I mean, I got some kills with it, but it wasn't, to me, it felt like the gunships in like the previous Call of Duties. Like I want to say Call of Duty, the old school Call of Duties, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the original, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 back in the day. When you called in a gunship in those games, dude, it seems like they would last forever. Like they would be up there like fucking half the match. They'd be up there forever you're trying to take it out, and you just keep shooting flares and shit. And this one, it seems like they kind of nerfed them a little bit. Same with the I want to say same with the chopper gunner. Like, yeah, you spawn in the chopper gunner, and it seems like it doesn't last that long, or like it doesn't have that much health because like I got shot down pretty fast. I want to say. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be that just like there's so many players on the map that probably have rocket launchers, or that they're all probably focused on taking you out. So maybe that's why they took me out really fast, But it doesn't seem like
or
those
somebody
kill
complained
streaks.
that it lasts too long, that never gets a gunship or wants any part of it.
Yeah,
or any kind of air support.
Yeah, that could
Not
also
fair.
be the case. But yeah, those were fun matches. And now I've been grinding the guns a little bit, trying to unlock different types of guns. And so I've been working on that lately. I ended up getting the gold camo for the M4. Now that was a weird thing because I had unlocked it a long time ago, but the progression wasn't really tracking, because to get the gold camo, it's not that hard. You only have to get like 50 kills doing a certain thing. You have to get like so many mounted kills, so many kills from behind, so many kills, like so many double kills and all that type of shit. Well, I ended up doing that like a long time ago, and I didn't know why it wasn't tracking. Like it wasn't tracking my progress on my camos. It was like, so I ended up finding out there's a bug in the game where you have to, on the camos, when you're on the camo screen, you have to use the arrow keys on your keyboard to navigate to the different camos, and then it'll start tracking the progress on them. But if you click on them, it won't do shit. It was a really weird, stupid glitch. I don't know what the hell the point of it was. But I ended up YouTubing it, or like I Googled it, and they're like, yeah, if you want to track your camo progress, you have to like use the arrow keys instead of the mouse because there's a weird glitch with the mouse. Like the UI won't read it or something. Like it won't, like for some reason it won't track your shit. So I ended up that I do have the gold camo for the M4 already. And I'm just working on other guns or whatever, other launchers and guns and shit. Yeah, that's Battlefield. No, that's Call of Duty for you guys.
Nice.
But yeah, I look forward to season 1 starting here this next week coming up. That's when they said they're also going to add the prestige mode, which I kind of need because now that I reached level 55, I kind of don't want to play the game anymore. I'm kind of like, what's the point? Like I'm not leveling up anymore. I guess I could unlock guns. I guess that's the point, right? I should get in there to unlock guns, but
make them all platinum. Yep.
I don't know. Anyways,
there's the grind, right? Yeah.
In other news and other games that I played, I played Battlefield, but not the Battlefield that you may think that I played.
I know what you played. But you didn't tell me. You were just hinting at it all week. Yeah.
I played some Battlefield 1. Now, Battlefield 1 actually was on sale on Steam this weekend for a mere $5. Actually, less than $5. It was like $4.75 or something like that. It was super cheap, and it came with all the DLC.
Are you sure though? Because when I went and looked at it before you even said it, and it didn't, like, it was all separate, and it didn't have like, it wasn't like a special edition or anything.
No, it was the special edition. It was like the Ultimate Edition or whatever.
But I have it on EA Play, so I can play that anytime, and I own it on Xbox.
It came with all the DLC. It was $5. I do have it on EA, but I decided to buy it again on Steam just to have it on Steam because it's easier to launch or whatever. So I bought it again, $5. And I gotta say, man, Battlefield 1 is a blast. I was playing that last night with Brink of Eternity, and me and him were in a few matches on operations, and like just the level of detail in that game, the mud, the explosions, the smoke, the people screaming and yelling that they're dying, the fucking explosions going off all around you all the time, the tanks, the tanks are actually scary because this is based on World War I, so these tanks are coming in and you have like a fucking stupid ass rifle and you're like, holy fuck, I don't have nothing to fight this tank. This motherfucker is powerful as fuck right now. Like, we don't have anything to take this thing out. Like, your grenade may do a little damage to it, but like not nearly enough. So it's a scary situation when you run into a tank. If you don't have like the assault class, that tank is gonna fuck you and your team up. Like really fast. If you have a lot of people in there and they're gonna fuck your team up. But man, it was such a blast, dude. It was such a blast being on the horse again with the horse guy and the sword, running around slashing people with the sword.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that show was so much fun, dude. So much fun. I was playing the game, ran great. I had everything on ultra settings. I was getting well over 100 frames the whole time. No issues at all. Like no connection issues. We found matches right away. I had like a really great ping as well. Like my ping was like at 23 the whole match.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Everyone else's was like 50s, 60s, 80s. Mine was at 23 the whole time. Brink was like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, are you hosting this match? Like how the fuck do you have such low ping right now? He was like,
that's 33 was good, but yeah, 23 is better.
He's like, well, he's like, that's fucking crazy. He's like, you must have like no lag at all. I'm like, no, dude, I didn't even notice. But yeah, man, just playing it kind of like made me realize like how bad Battlefield 2042 really is in terms of like just the level of detail. Like there's not a lot of like 2042, the graphics are nice, but there's not a lot of like destruction. There's not a lot of like mud in the fucking screen and like mud on your character, mud on your, like in Battlefield 1, if you're running and like in the beginning of the match, your gun is clean, right? It looks nice and clean. But if you start running and you dive into the mud, next thing you know, you get back up. Your character is covered in mud. Your boots are covered in mud. Your hands are covered in mud. Your gun is covered in mud. It's like the level of detail is so much higher than Battlefield 2042. Like 2042, it seems like they just took a big, huge step backwards. Even because I know it went Battlefield 1, then it went Battlefield what?
5.
Yeah, Battlefield 5. And both of those games, you know, those games were great. And then this one, it's like they need to, I don't know, they need to really, that's why they're revamping the maps or whatever, right? Remaking them kind of a little bit. Because they probably realized like these don't look like maps that there's a war going on in, you know what I mean? Where you look in Battlefield 1, these fucking maps, everything's like destroyed. Or like you start off and everything's kind of nice looking. You got all these little houses and towers and windmills everywhere and everything looks nice. But by the middle of that match, everything's fucking blown up. Like the houses are half on fucking ground. Everything's blown up. Everything's fucked up. There's fucking craters everywhere because of the artillery bombs going off at each other. It's insane. And yeah, I just had a fucking really good time playing Battlefield 1, dude. It was so much fun. So much fucking fun.
Yeah, we had a really good time. That's probably the for me and you, Jesus, that was probably the one that we played the most together, right? Because I think we were both playing on Xbox at the time.
It was so much fun. Oh, I want to. But
I also enjoyed Battlefield 5. I know we both picked it up at the same time, but you might have picked it up on PC where I got it on Xbox. You know, because I game share. So, but yeah, I had a pretty good time with both of them. So.
I'm excited to see.
I even bought the DLC or I got it for like, it was like a free trial or something, or I might have purchased it, but it was like Wake Island or some shit. Yeah. 1942 Islands or something. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Steam charts right now for Battlefield 1. And even, I mean, yeah, it's dropped significantly from like, I think Saturday night, there was like 52,000 players playing or something like that. Of course, it's dropped since then. Yesterday was at 27,000. Today's at 13,000. But it's still a lot more than Battlefield 2042. Right? Because even right now at 13,000 players, how many does Battlefield 2042 have? Battlefield only has 2,700 players.
Wow.
You know? Like that's a huge difference, and I think EA should take notice. You know, hopefully somebody over there noticed this shit, and they're like, "Whoa, man! Like, look at this shit. Our old game is getting way more players than our newest fucking game. It's not how it should be." You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, as we know, isn't that now under the direction of Vince Zampella?
Yes.
Am I wrong on that? But I think it's kind of under his thing now.
Yes.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot, where I know that Vince started out with, I believe it was Medal of Honor. Correct me if I'm wrong. As I remember Airborne, I think, man, was he working on that? No, he left before that, I think, to go work over at Activision, right? On Call of Duty, whatever studio he was working for. Him and that other guy who doesn't work there anymore. And, of course, they made some of the best Call of Duty games out there.
They worked for Infinity Ward, the ones that made Modern Warfare.
Yep. And then whatever debacle, like they literally had security guards, take him out of there, suit him, blah, 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 right? Yeah. Then made his own studio. But it's kind of weird. Like, so now that he's back, I just think like, okay, and it's under his direction. I don't know about DICE over in that country. It's from Sweden or wherever the fuck it's from. But I thought, man, I wonder if he's going to make it more like a Call of Duty game, I mean, I know he's not making the game, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for the future for, more, a better Battlefield. So where I think if he didn't take over, I'd be more like, well, hopefully they do better in 2052. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know though,
Apparently Vincent Pella is running DICE LA, which is different from the DICE that makes the Battlefield games in Sweden.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if
it's a different DICE.
Yeah.
It's like Hobo DICE.
Hobo DICE. I mean, they probably just do maps or something, right? Or they do camos or something.
They're probably the ones that got put in charge of 2042.
Well, that's good then, right? Because then, fuck yeah, then it's going to be really good.
I mean, really hope that
whatever Vince touches,
all EA has to do, man, literally all they have to do to bring the people back to Battlefield, like bring Battlefield back to people's good graces. All they have to do is, like, at any point between now and next year, is just drop a trailer and have it be the same trailer they dropped for Battlefield 4. The same exact trailer.
Yeah.
But have the same exact trailer, but with like enhanced graphics. Like, just remaster that fucking game. All you got to do is remaster Battlefield 4 with like updated graphics, right? Updated destruction, updated graphics, better engine, or whatever the fuck. Have the same level of destruction, the same level of chaos in it. And just say Battlefield 4 Remastered coming this year or next year or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
And then be like, all the DLCs included. We're not doing DLC this time around. There's no premium pass. If you buy the game, you're going to get all the maps. And it's all going to be there. And that would do it. Right there. That would fucking do it. People would be like, fuck yeah, put me back in. I'm in. They
would get guaranteed pre-orders for sure.
I would pre-order that shit. But they're too stupid. They probably won't do that. They'll do some new Battlefield with some stupid blue-haired chick running around.
No, I mean, I just think that if he, and then you see like, look, we're free DLC, and all you see is this fucking Titanfall 2 mech come out on this.
Oh, Titanfall comes down.
You know what I mean? I know Jonathan's over there. Titanfall 3, yes. But no, bring out a Titan fucking out there on the battlefield. Now in Battlefield 4 Remastered.
Call it in Titans. That would be kind of crazy, though.
Hey, that would be a perk, right? It would last 1 minute or whatever, Minute and a half.
That would be too OP, man, calling a fucking Titan. But, yeah, anyways, that's all I played this week, man. I really haven't played much else, just those two games. On my phone, I've been playing some more Turmoil, which is a very simple, like, chill, laid-back game. It's on the consoles as well. It's on the PC, I'm pretty sure. It's a game where, like, literally all it is you're digging for oil, and you got to sell the oil to the left corporation or the right corporation, and like the prices will fluctuate between them. And the whole goal of each level is to make the most money. And then you go back to town after each level, and after you go back to town, you can upgrade your pipes. You can upgrade the tanks that you store the oil in or whatever. You can upgrade different things, or you can like make your thing have more horse carriages or whatever to carry the oil. And all that. And you can even like sometimes make a deal with the guys that run the corporations. You can say like, I'll pay you I'll pay you $4,000 right now if the price of the oil in your company doesn't go below 95 cents next year. So that way you know that they're always going to be at 95 cents and you can always sell oil to them no matter what for 95 cents. Sometimes they'll offer you really good deals, like they'll never go below $1.10 or something, which is really good. But yeah, Turmoil is a really cool little game. It's on the iOS. It's on Android, I'm pretty sure, as well. And I don't know if it was free or not. I'm pretty sure I paid for it regardless because I don't like ads. But if anything, it's worth it though. It's like maybe $4. And then I'm still playing Retroable. Still playing that. But yeah, besides those two mobile games and my Battlefield experience and my Call of Duty experience, there's really not much else I played on the PC, man. I was looking at certain games that just came out. There was one that kind of caught my eye. It was called "This Is My Cult" or something like that.
Oh, like, I saw that. Yeah,
like, look at join my cult.
What is it? I joined a cult or something like that?
Or it's my cult or something, some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's on Steam. It looked kind of cool. I was like, it's kind of cool to like make a cult game. But what's up with all these cult games lately, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes you kind of wonder, like, what's up with all the cult? It's like a cult game, like genre. Is the cult genre like hot right now? Is this like a thing?
Yeah, I think you know what games like that. I saw that like screenshots of it. I didn't see gameplay, but I'm thinking like that. It kind of reminded me of. Not RimWorld, which is like another popular Steam game, somewhat popular, but it just it just had a different spin on it. You know those top-down fucking 64-bit games. So I think it was 64-bit.
Mm-hmm. I saw that play. What about you, Gunny?
Oh man, so as you guys know, I was I kind of hinted at it last week. After we did the podcast, whatever, I had oral surgery on Tuesday, Jesus, as you know. And that was a really good experience because I don't remember anything, which was nice, And yeah, then I took, so basically I was off for pretty much 10 days, just doing nothing but gaming, and actually got a little tired of gaming, which is very rare, right? With work and life and stuff. So that was cool, man. Like to just be fucking gaming going, I'm a little burnt out playing so much shit, Got to go do something else, watch a movie or something. But I would say that, like, most of my gaming was probably spent like just on the couch in the chair, recovering from major mouth pain of just playing fucking Apple Arcade or something. I think I even turned my Xbox 360 on, and what the hell, I don't even remember what I played because it was so early during the week, just being all drugged up, man, playing games. But a lot of it was just going back and just more freaking Elden Ring, So here's the thing. All right, so again, without researching it, where I'm at, basically I can't even think of the name of it now, but it's basically the castle where, you can tell things are coming to an end, and where the guy who's like, in charge of the castle, I forgot what his name was, but he's like, yeah, it's time to leave here. It looks like things are wrapping up. You can see like embers, it's not like burning, but it's you're near the end. But what he talks about is basically four bosses that need to be discovered first, right? They need to be found and dealt with or whatever. But I've already beaten like, I think all three out of the four. Because when I went back and researched it, like, no, I've done at least 2 out of the 4. So the last one that I got to do is Melina of the Hollig Tree. Memory serves me right, and I just I can't beat her, man. But yeah, so as far as like, again, just kind of going to that game mostly blind. I've always gone in with this sword that just does a lot of like fire damage. It's not. I guess it is a great sword, right? So it's got a lot of power to it. Does a lot of damage. It'll stun enemies, right? But the one thing I've been using it for is mainly like when it'll go into a 2-hand animation and just the stream of fire, right? Talked about this before, right? And it just does a ton of damage to anybody that's in its wake. But Yeah, Melina just seems to jump out of the way. I can call in my Ghost of Ashes, right? And I've got them all leveled up, all the way to 8 or 10 or whatever it is. But they just get torn to pieces, by her. So, yeah, and I'm just, like where my character's like got heavy armor on, and it's not like I can just sidestep her. I do a lot of rolling, when she comes at me with that sword. But yeah, she destroys me. I get to the second part of the animation, and man, I've gotten her down to almost nothing. And I think obviously the game knows, right? Like, he's got heavy armor and a weapon that's leveled up. So the other thing I've been doing is where I've got like this big horned, fucking, I don't know if it's considered like an axe or whatever, but it does a lot of like lightning damage. So, you can do it from a distance, but Melina's over there like, well, I'm going to kill your freaking Ghost of Ash, right? So if you stay too far away, it doesn't do as much damage. So you got to get kind of close, but she will come at you with that sword, man, once she knows that, you're close enough. And you might seem like it's far away from her. Oh, she can't get that far, but she'll fly over there and just wreck your world. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thinking like, all right, what do I got to do? Go back and grind to level up, basically, to, get more health and, shit. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, but I've tried different combinations, man, where it's like I'll equip like, something like the equivalent of a rune, right? Which is, something that's going to help you, right? With however you're fighting with magic or, fire damage or whatever it might be. So arcane damage,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of at a loss. Like, what the hell am I even to do next? So I think she's the last person to beat. So, and I think that's kind of where the game pretty much ends. So I don't know, guys. I can't quit now,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really need to put this away because I do want to get God of War. Get that PlayStation on and get some God of War going on. Hopefully by Friday or Saturday. So yeah, I'm just gonna call it, man, for now. So I know eventually I will. I can go back 2 or 3 weeks from now, but yeah. But yeah, other than that, I've just played other random Game Pass games, Gunfire Reborn. Just kind of doing the same thing over and over with the Horde mode. That's what I call it, which is basically, like I talked about, it's got some of those what I call dead Saw elements, right? Go through a wave. All right. What kind of, upgrade do you want? It just has that same screen, But yeah, I haven't really delved into that one too much. I did try a game on Game Pass, which is on PC and Xbox, called Ghost Song. So I think I was either watching a video or listening to a podcast where they were talking about, it's made by one person. Yeah, it looks good, but it's like a side-scrolling, shooter, but it's got like a melee option to it. So I don't know. At first, it kind of does give that like, Ori and the Blind Forest kind of look, but not to that level of detail. So I've only played it for like maybe 30 minutes, and I was like, I don't know if this is really for me, It does remind me of, gosh, I'm trying to think of even the genre that started on the Nintendo. But where it's almost like, hey, like, where do you go next, right? Like after you jump down into a pipe, and you fight off some of these enemies. I think I'm playing it even on just regular easy mode or something. So, and it feels like it so far. But I don't know. I think I'll probably play some more of that. So it almost makes me just want to go back and play Dead Souls, So every time I play it.
That's
right.
But
yeah, I don't know if you're into those side-scrolling shooter games, definitely check that out. So, let's see. I know there was another one that was on there. Oh, The Legend of Tianding. This one kind of starts off like almost like it has that comic book like look to it, from the 70s and 80s, and basically you're like this legend, known to the locals, who knows martial arts, can kick some real ass, and kind of gives me that Mark of the Ninja feeling to it. So I haven't really looked into it to see other games in its genre. I only played for like an hour. So, but and I didn't much care for the Mark of the Ninja. I think they made 2 of those. It just wasn't my thing. So, but it does have all the Dead Souls, everything is exactly the same on the controller. So it felt pretty good. I was moving through the map, side scrolling, kicking ass, And the other thing, it also has this thing where you're like, you go to meet somebody, now you got to go down to the sewer, and that's where you're going to get these upgrades, to learn how to do a super kick, almost like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, So maybe a homage to them as well. So, but it felt pretty good. Maybe I just had Elden Ring on the brain or something, I was like, I just go play more of that and stop playing this, But yeah, that's on your Game Pass PC and Xbox. And let's see, what else should I've been playing? Yeah, just that's pretty much it, Jesus. Just those games and some a game called Factorio that's on Steam. Steam only. I don't know if it's on the Epic Store. So that's I don't know, just a top-down silly game. I don't know. It just seems really complicated. So it's almost like to me, it seemed more like a top-down Satisfactory type game, but a little more complicated. Again with the 64-bit. It just had that aesthetic to it.
I got it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to get something and be like, me, Jesus. If I get into that game, it's gonna be I'll play like 150 hours of that, and nothing else. So be like, I'm hooked now. I got to build factories everywhere, and train tracks, and freaking conveyor belts, and yeah. But yeah, some of those games kind of scare me a little bit. It's kind of like my WoW. It's like, whoa, hold on, I won't put too much time, then I'll be stuck on this shit. So. But yeah, but that's about it for me. That's all I played for like 10 days, man. All those games, back and forth. So.
Oh, well, Gunny, it's news time. But today is also a very special day in the U.S. It's Election Day, Gunny.
Get out and vote, people.
Well, actually, it's maybe a little too late to vote. I mean, in Oregon, it might be a little too late because, well, actually, no, you can still drop off your ballots.
What's the cutoff time? I wonder.
There's no cutoff. The cutoff time is 8 p.m. when the ballots are counted, or whatever, or 7 p.m.
You have 1 hour, people. By the time you hear this, it will be 12 hours later.
Yeah, it'll be way over. But, yeah, Oregon elections, man. Oregon is weird. The Oregon, you vote by mail. You don't vote at a place. There's no option to vote at a place.
I think California is the same way.
Is it?
Since 2020, I heard it on the radio this morning. So I've been doing it for the last 5 or 6 years. I was telling somebody that, but only because, of my work schedule. I work 10 to 12 hour days.
Yeah.
So I'd either have to like break route to go vote, or miss it completely. Unless it was on a Monday, my day off, then let's do it. It's always on a Tuesday, it seems. I don't like it. Hey, Jesus. All right. I thought about this today. Okay. So earlier today, because, I'm hearing about it on the radio, and I always think about video games, right? It's like just my thing, where I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if we voted on something for video games, like what, maybe not necessarily like what the devs should do or whatever, but maybe like a company, like what should be the next Battlefield or whatever, what should be the next Call of Duty, you know what I mean? Instead of just waiting for
they should, some companies should do that. Cool. Some companies should do that with like the next election, like fuck it, start like some marketing campaign, like what should the next Call of Duty be? And just have a bunch of random shit listed, like, do you want this shit in space? Do you want it in fucking World War II? Do you want World War I? Do you want like some ancient fucking shit? Do you want some modern shit? What do you want? What do you want in Call of Duty?
That would be awesome, man, if they did like, you know, because they do that thing where, which is one thing I think is cool about the video game awards, right? Where, yeah, there's a panel, and I think they get what 20 or so people on that panel, you know, either from IGN and Game Informer and, you know, Engadget website and stuff, which I think is great. Those people are very knowledgeable, and those are the people that do like the voting, right? And, you know, I have the full confidence in a lot of those people where you might say, well, that's not my game of the year, but I love the runners up and, you know, the whole 1 through 10 and fucking, yeah, I think that's always cool. But I thought, what if we had something like that, like you said, where, yeah, Activision reaches out, man. And then, like, we always know it's going to be Call of Duty and fucking Modern Warfare, you know, fucking World War 1, 2 stuff, you know, Civil. Yeah, that would be awesome if they did that. Like, where do you want the next one to go, you know? And if whoever the most votes, that's where it's going to be. And then let's let the devs, you know, make something in that.
You know, in Oregon, you know that we're going to start selling mushrooms legally?
I think they do that in California. I heard about it. I've never Googled it to see if it was true.
Hallucinogenic psilocybins or whatever. Like we're gonna start selling them.
I'm sure it's a real thing because a driver, you know, I mean, as a truck driver, you know, I can't smoke Mary Jane, you know, but it's a law, whatever. It's a federal law, basically. Can't do it. I know. No edibles, right? I can't have any THC in my system. Sucks.
But yeah, we voted on it here in my town. We voted to make it legal to sell in my town or not. I voted yes. I was like, fuck yeah, make that shit legal to sell here. It's already being sold here.
Do they sell it at the dispensaries or?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure like where.
Oh no! Right now they don't sell it, but they're going to start. But they were trying to pass a law here. They're asking people if they want, because right now it's not legal to sell in this town. But they were saying, should we legalize it or make it illegal? Should we allow the sale of psilocybin mushrooms to be sold in this town? And I was like, yes, because they're already being sold here, dude. Regardless, if someone cannot buy them here, you know what they're going to do is drive over to the next town and buy them there.
Yep.
Oh, it's so fucking hard. That's when the weed first became legal here in Oregon. A lot of towns banned it, right? Even my town, they banned it for like the first year or two. They said like, oh no, we don't want to sell marijuana in our town. That's not right. And then the dummies,
not a good Christian way to do things.
Yeah, exactly. And then the dummies realized, oh shit, everyone's still buying weed because
tax money's coming in, honey. Right?
Yeah, everyone's buying weed in other towns. So how about we just legalize it? And next thing you know, there was like 3 pot shops in my town because guess what? They lifted the ban on that shit. I mean, it makes common sense, dude. It's common sense to let the shit. If it's legalized, sell it, dude. Don't be a pussy. Oh, it's going to damage our youth. Fuck, dude, your youth's already damaged. Let me tell you.
It's already
Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. There's at least 3 drug dealers in your kid's high school. At least 3. If not, maybe more. If they go to an inner city school, like say you're in a big city like Chicago, LA, Las Vegas, New York, guess what? There's probably at least 20 drug dealers in your kid's school.
They're all competing against each other,
Yeah, so guess what? It ain't going to stop shit from getting in your kids' hands if they want to get it. So, yeah. So just deal with it, I say. Like, legalize this shit and make it harder for the, I don't know, the illegal drug makers to fucking sell that shit.
Yeah, interesting. I don't remember voting on it last year, but somebody said, no, you can go to the store and buy it here in California. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I might buy some when they become legal, just to buy them and try them.
Yeah, and from what I understand, I could be wrong on this, Jesus, but obviously not while I'm driving. But apparently, it doesn't show up in like federal testing or whatever.
Oh.
That's what I was told by another truck driver. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. You know, maybe I'll. If I ever had some, I'd probably Google it to make sure, you know? So, random drug tests. Yeah.
Let me tell you right now, Gunny. I'm looking at a website that says, most urinalysis, which is when they take your piss, right? And they do your test. They most don't have they don't have the thing to test for like shrooms. They'll test for THC, for cocaine, for PCP, for amphetamines, and opioids, but for mushrooms, it's not a thing.
Right. Okay, that is true then. Yep. He said it was. Nope, it's not there. So I'll be getting some acid, bruh. Getting some shrooms, man. I'll be tripping. As long as it mellows me out, man.
Yeah. It says though
I'm tired of the CBD stuff, you know.
It says that if they do a hair test, that it will show up. If they do a hair test, but I mean, they say most companies won't pay for a hair test because it costs so much more than a.
I did it in my
urine test.
In my 20s. They would always do hair,
and that mushrooms are metabolized way too fast to be tested in a blood or saliva test. So if they do a blood test, it won't show up, or saliva test, it won't show up.
Nice.
Now you know, ladies and gentlemen, go do some mushrooms.
So if you're a truck driver like me, or a police officer, or
just go do some shrooms, man.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just go buy some shrooms, get high, and chill. Hey, man.
Drop some hits, man. Go to work.
Man. All right, Gunny, let me tell you, how long does it last? Okay, let me tell you some factors here. It says here that usually your intestines absorb it within 10 to 30 minutes after you ingest them. And that they'll clear from your system in about 5 hours.
Wow, I was thinking you were going to say 24, but that's pretty
quick. and then yeah, sometimes it takes up to 15 hours to clear,
depending on how much you take.
But it says here, even if you take a test 24 hours later, the chances of somebody finding that in your system is like none. Super low, man. Super low. Nice. So there you go, Gunny. There you go. Take a weekend, go do some shrooms, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Hey, you're right. That's the thing. I can come into work. Hi.
Hey, man, I'm fine.
Non-traceable.
Yeah. Everybody listening to this on the East Coast is like, what? They're legalizing shrooms over there?
We're going back to the 60s when, that was a thing, but it was highly illegal at the time.
Yeah, we live in these liberal states where there's no Bible thumpers over here telling us that we're doing this wrong.
This ain't Tennessee, y'all.
That's right. We're going to legalize cocaine next and PCP and heroin, motherfuckers. Yeah.
It's coming.
They should
join the fiber of America.
Yeah, okay, the fiber of America.
I don't know. Just made that.
We should just legalize everything, like I said in the last podcast.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff's, well, not a lot of stuff, but marijuana and THC, it's all legal in Canada and Amsterdam. Yeah. I'm sure other countries are just like, hell yeah. It's a way to make money,
Yeah, why not? In some countries, they really go hard against drugs, like in, where is it? I think it's like in Thailand or some shit. Or the Philippines.
They whip you, right?
In the Philippines, they'll just kill you, dude. Like if you get caught selling drugs, you're like, you receive a death sentence. Like you're dead, motherfucker.
In the Fiji Islands, where the wife is from, they will, man. They will, like if you live on a, what's a native land called, Jesus? What do we call those?
I don't know.
Whatever, like, in the village, right?
Like a reservation or something?
Like a reservation, right? It's just the equivalent of, they will basically, man, that is like, it's illegal, Mary Jane over there, but it grows like wildfire if you put it in the ground. It just rains all the time. You don't need to water it. But yeah, still over there, they're like, no drugs. So some countries are, 20 to 30 years behind. So we've evolved over here.
Anyways, let's get into some video game news. I don't know who's won the elections. I will update you all with those results later. In Oregon, it's a big election.
Underwater wins.
In Oregon is a big election because we're going to get a new governor regardless. But if it's going to be a Democratic governor, a Republican governor, or the independent who's running, who knows? Dun, dun, dun.
And then, Jesus, they'll be like, we need to ban Call of Duty in Oregon.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I met the guy who's running the race for the independent lady, like the manager of the campaign. He was a pretty chill dude. He flew from Florida, man. He was a chill guy. Yeah. He said he's been out here for like fucking 7 months, dude. Just legit, like his job requires him to move to Oregon for like 7 months and stay here and run the campaign while his family's back at home in Florida. I'm like, that is crazy. I don't know if I could do that kind of work, man.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work, you know?
Right. Depends on the pay and
but that's all he does.
Family.
That's all he does. He just runs. That's what he does is like as a living. He's a campaign manager. He's just the people that go to like different towns or states, and he'll run the campaign for whatever governor is running, and it'll be a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or whatever. And like they'll call him. They'll usually call him, and he said that like they usually call me and they'll ask me if I want to run the campaign. I'll look at the state. I'll do some research if the state is Republican or not, and the guy's Republican, then I'll work for him. But if he's a Democrat running in a state that's mostly Republican, I probably won't work for him or her. You know, like he said that he does all his research and shit. I'm like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
But anyways, want some video game news? McDonald's created a grease-proof gaming chair. Speaking of elections. McDonald's is over here creating grease-proof gaming chairs. That's right, Gunny.
Grease-proof.
That's right.
What if I'm just a greasy person?
Let me tell you right now what this shit includes here. This
Some
McDonald's...
towels, napkins?
McDonald's is called the McCrispy Ultimate Gaming Chair. Okay, this includes a fries holder, a drink holder, 2 dip holders, a hot box to keep your McCrispy warm while gaming, a stain-proof leather treatment so you can enjoy your McCrispy in peace, and modular armrests that allow the users to swap their McCrispy to different sides. I think personally that it looks ugly as shit. It's a yellow and black color.
Yeah,
and,
I saw the picture. I was like, what?
It doesn't look very good. They should have went with the red. Like I would have went with the red and black color instead. You know what I mean? Like made a red and black. You could still have like the golden arches. You could still have the golden arches or whatever because you know that's their logo.
Yeah, put that at the top where the yellow is.
But I would have made everything else red and black. This yellow and black shit is fucking tacky as fucking. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know if you can buy this or what the fuck the deal is with this. Is this even real? Is this like an actual thing? Can you buy this?
What's the price on it? There's no price listed yet.
Well, I don't know. Let me look it up. Can you buy this? I don't think you can buy this. Oh, they're giving it away. They're giving it away. Okay. They're giving it away. There's going to be 4 of them in the world ever made. 4 of them, Gunny.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be some famous ass YouTuber like Lyric or somebody, you know, fucking Ninja. Look what I got, guys.
Yeah.
Shit. What's that guy? Mr. Beastie or whatever. You know, he's going to get one. Like he doesn't have enough money. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Then they're going to tweet it out 50 million times and Facebook and websites. Who wants to win this? Yeah.
Okay, there are only 4 in the world, and only one of them is in line to be won by the public. So you can participate, Gunny, by going to a McDonald's Facebook page between now and November 13th, 2022, midnight time. And I don't know, whatever the competition must be there. Maybe you comment on the photo or something. I don't know. But it says here, one of them has been given away to some guy named Manny. I don't know who the fuck that is. Maybe he's just a streamer or something. Some guy named Manny. And Els the Witch has another one. And the other one, who the fuck is Maya Jama?
Never heard of them. I mean, is this all? Yeah.
It must be streamers. I don't know who the fuck that is.
YouTubers, streamers, yeah.
Maya Jama, I'm looking at her, is an English television radio presenter and DJ. She works for the BBC, apparently.
All right, mate. I always forget it's like an international company as well. So
I forget that too.
I want 4 right here in America. And I want one of them.
I'm American. Fuck yeah, American.
Give me my grease-proof chair. Because
That's
I
right.
play naked, hot, and sweaty, and greasy.
Nobody.
Ugh, let me just picture that. Sorry.
No, that's nasty. Anyways, that's all I have for that gaming chair shit. In other news, there's some more news here. Oh. BioWare has released an old concept art image to mark N7 Day, Gunny. That's November 7th, yesterday. But there's more to that than meets the eye. N7 Day, BioWare's annual celebration of all things Mass Effect, used to be a pretty big deal back in the day.
Yeah,
its significance has waned in the post-Mass Effect 3 years, though, and the lukewarm reception to Andromeda did not do much to reverse that trend. This year's November 7th event didn't seem to bring much in the way of big news either, but a little audio decoding revealed a big surprise. Says here, regardless of when you joined us through 4 games and more expansions, one can say with certainty that we're in this because of you, and every N7 Day is a wonderful reminder of that. Project Director Mike Gamble said in his annual N7 Day message. As we look forward, each day is a fun and exciting challenge for the team. We love bringing this universe to life, and although there's much more we want to share with you, that'll have to be for another time. For now, there is something we want you to have a look at. We've intercepted some strange footage from one of the monitoring stations in known space. It could be nothing but, and they were like a little ... or whatever. And anyways, people were looking at this, blah, blah, blah. And yeah. So pretty much
it looks like a smaller mass relay. Does it look smaller? I mean, it's just the picture, the angle.
People are saying this is a mass relay or whatever. Yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't know what that is, that was basically the thing that helped your vessel warp travel through space.
Yeah.
Right, like a jump start. But yeah, I mean, pretty easy that they could basically say, kind of like the Andromeda game as well, where they could say, yeah, I mean, these guys were in another universe, but they know,
I'm thinking they're bringing back the Mass Effect people, right? Like Mass Effect 3 characters to this whatever new Mass Effect game they're working on. I definitely think Liara will be one of the characters in the game, or at least you're going to run into her, or she might be in your crew. Because, remember, she's part of that species of aliens that can live for like fucking forever. Like, they can live for like 500 years or some shit. So, it would just make sense if she's still alive, right? And like...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's still alive. She survived.
It wouldn't be hard for them to just explain, like, all these people live.
They're all fucking aliens, right? They all live forever, man. They're all fucking aliens. Like, oh, how are they still alive 100 years later? Well, they're all fucking aliens, motherfucker. They're all still alive, They're all been around or whatever.
So what if they did a prequel, right, with Liara and
I don't want
the Krogans and
I want a sequel. I don't want a prequel.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened after Mass Effect 3. Did we really fuck them all up, or is there more somewhere out there?
Well, they return, right? Spoiler alert, don't they return in 1,000 years or some shit?
Yeah.
Every 1,000 years.
Yeah, every 1,000 years, right? They come around. Everyone forgets about them, and then they come around.
Right? To wipe out the universe of existence.
You'd figure, like, at some point, somebody would write this shit down. Like, hey, guys, look, we defeated these guys this time.
Yeah. Right.
But in 1,000 years, we need you guys to be prepared because these motherfuckers are coming back again, okay? They're coming back.
Well, spoiler alert from Mass Effect 2 and 3 a little bit, right? I'm sure everybody's played it by now, or at least you have no... again, I'm going off memory here to use this, where yours is a lot better from these games, where they talk about that even in Mass Effect 2, and obviously Mass Effect 3, especially Mass Effect 2, where they're just talking about... and even Mass Effect 1, where they're just talking about how this is a thing, right? And this is what the Reapers do. And I mean, not every detail, right? Until you actually speak to them, right? In Mass Effect 3. But you're just there to find out, basically, from the horse's mouth, So what's up, man? Really? You're just going to wipe everybody out? That's it? It's really, is it really true, It's like, yeah, man, that's what we do. So it's going to be done. But, God, what a great moment in Mass Effect 3. But I think everybody's just in disbelief, or not disbelief, but just more like, it was that discovery, right? Of they had to find out the truth, Shepard, especially, and the Council. So, right. And you were on that journey, man. Because we as the players had to know, right, what the end result is.
Yeah. So yeah, there is some civilizations in the past that did write about the Reapers coming, but they got wiped out by the Reapers. Like they left a warning though for like someone to discover, and that's what Commander Shepard discovers it with Liara, and she's the Prometheans is what they were.
Yeah.
And sorry, those guys were like the old civilization that got fucking wiped out by the Reapers, or whatever the fuck. And but yeah, anyways, maybe there's a teaser for a new Mass Effect. I don't fucking know, man. I don't care until I see a fucking trailer, dude.
I'm thinking, yeah, we're not going to see anything until probably, I'm going to say not until
next year.
Yeah, next year, February. I'm just throwing it out there, February.
Right?
And then we'll obviously see a lot more, somewhat more in June. E3. Yep.
E3 don't exist no more, Cuddy.
It does. It's just under PAX, right? Now PAX kind of runs it.
Kind of, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they're kind of doing it now. So, not in the same capacity.
All right, let's move on now, Gunny, to some bigger news. The biggest news this week. PlayStation VR 2 has finally revealed their jaw-dropping price. Sony has now announced the new price and release date for the VR 2. Gunny,
I didn't know if we talked about this last week or not.
We did not. Gunny, the brand new headset featuring all the cool features it has, will cost €600 or about $550. It will go on sale February 22nd. And we already know what's inside the PSVR 2 box. The price is being met with some criticism in the gaming community, even though Sony offers a lot of VR technology for the money, especially much more and much better than in 2016 with the PSVR. However, it is clear now that the latest Sony has an uphill battle with this new VR. This is expensive, man. $550. This is so they're asking you to pay the price of a console just for the VR.
Yeah, right. Especially seeing how it's $499 for the console itself. So, now Bill Gardner did say, I think it was Bill, in Discord where he talked about it launching with, I don't know how many games, right? Some of them, I don't know if he said 20, I don't know how many titles it was, but I'm sure some of them, I know you've got Resident Evil Village is going to be like a fully playable game. And again, I don't know about what else is going to be in there besides, I'm sure there's going to be an Astrobot 2.0 and maybe some other surprising titles that we might see. But yeah, $550. I know these things are they're gonna sell off the shelves or whatever. Scalpers are gonna be purchasing these things and trying to sell them at $600. And so February, I don't know. I mean, this is after the holidays, but yeah, I think they're just gonna be kind of a hard to find thing until, again, I think probably coming around that June time. I know that's an E3, Xbox, PC, other developer things, but Sony does their own thing. But yeah, there's got to be a game coming, right? Especially, I know Sony, right? If they're selling it at this price, and it's going to be a high quality thing like the Oculus, the Rift or Quest or whatever, right? Which is also a great quality. I actually own the number 2 one. So, but yeah, I think if they bring the games, right? Which I haven't seen anything besides Resident Evil Village, but I think I think at this price, they have to bring those games. Otherwise, they're going to be like, well, we made $1.5 billion of those things, you know? So, I don't know. I would think you'd have to sell more to really justify, the sale of the new fucking VR. So, yeah, I think Sony's got some up their sleeve with games, So, stuff we haven't seen yet. Especially at that price. So, we'll find out more of that stuff. But let's see. I think Jesus just stepped away for a minute, so I will go ahead and read the next article over here. If it loads. Oh yeah, I'm seeing a screenshot here for Cyberpunk 2077 patch stops your boobies from popping out. So I don't remember seeing this part, but looks like you're playing as a chick in this game. So latest update also fixes tons of busted quest triggers and other issues plaguing Night City. The dystopian waits. Wait, we can fix it. RPG from CD Projekt Red has received yet another patch from Substantial Edge Runners itself. A rather comprehensive list of bug fixes and new features. The latest batch of fixes fills in the code holes that prevent various missions from finishing correctly. So, still polishing this game up, it seems. But those looking to be a bit more modest in their V's styling with breath a sigh relief, as they won't be flashing half of Night City every time they hit up a Ripper dock for some BA work. Let's see, it goes on here to say, game when it was out in 2020, obviously bug-ridden, barely playable state. Again, I just want to point out here, that was for consoles, right? Especially for the OG Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Could have been for the PlayStation 4 Pro. I could be wrong on that, but PC was actually playable from beginning to end, with bugs, of course, but still playable. Let's see. It goes on here to say it's no stranger to patches. The latest one, 1.61, contains a fix for a visual bug and could introduce when a previous update finally allowed players to customize V's appearance after character creation via in-game doctors or Ripper docks. Listed under the visual effects, V's breasts will no longer clip through their clothing and adjust after adjusting their size. Outside of helping V stay a bit more modest, there are a couple other improvements and new to features checked out. So it's the first time I heard of it, guys. So I didn't know that was a thing, or that you can even adjust her cup size, So
yeah,
that's the thing. I don't know. Cool. Do you know about this, Jesus?
Yeah, I was reading the patch notes today earlier on Steam.
Okay, I didn't know you can. I mean, I guess you can change the body types and stuff. But...
You can change everything. You can literally change everything in your character. You can make him look like a whole new character.
Nice. Sweet.
Another news I have for you, Gunny. Starfield news.
Ooh, what's going on with that game?
Okay. Well. Okay. They're saying Starfield is coming, right? It's coming, right? And everyone is excited for it, I guess. But they're saying that this will not be a Skyrim in space, Gunny.
See, that's what I wasn't worried about it, but I think I was just more like on the hype of other people won't be hyped, right? When they see that, that's all it is. It's Fallout 4 but more science fiction style type outer space stuff, where I would be fine with it. I really would. Where I think other people might be expecting something different.
No. So they're saying that it won't be a Skyrim in space, but it will have some Bethesda trademarks or whatever. Like, dialogue options are going to be pretty important in the game, apparently. The big difference here is that players can use Starfield's persuasion system. This is a system that they can use to push a conversation in the direction that favors the player. Players will have a specific number of turns and persuasion points from which to select various dialogue options as they attempt to convince NPCs to give in to their demands. But I'm assuming it's going to be more like what's that game that we've played on the Xbox and the PC? Fuck, that space game.
Oh, you're asking me, right?
You
That's
could
the
be a
question I
good
should be
guy.
asking you, right?
You could be a good guy or a bad guy. You help the guy. The guy helps you escape from the pod in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Right.
The outer worlds.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's going to be like Outer Worlds, like a linear sort of experience RPG that has some choices. That's what I fully expect it to be. If I cannot be a bad guy in Starfield, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back. I want to play I want to play Outer Worlds again, and I want to be a bad guy. I've restarted that game like 4 times now.
I've looked at it. It's installed. I want to say it's installed on my hard drive on Xbox. I don't think it was a XNS enhanced game, but I'm like, man, that was really good. I like the beginning of that. It just had that Fallout. I mean, obviously for the makers of Fallout New Vegas, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going back and replaying at least that first 2 hours of it. I like that lady who was. She was in basically that village. I wouldn't even call it a town, but she was so mad at me, right, that I chose to go against her. But she didn't like.
Oh, I turned super evil in that game.
She didn't go violent on me, you know. She was just like, "You're a traitor, piece of shit,
motherfucker,
garbage ass." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Hey, you know what? That's business." Yeah. I can't believe you. You're so cold-hearted, you know.
I did some total Game of Thrones shit in that game. I was betraying people and like setting people up, all kinds of shit. It was cool.
But the guy that was back at the town, right, the mayor or whatever, I was like, yeah, man, there you go. I took care of it, you know.
Yeah.
We good over here or what? You know, we're taking care of business here, you know. I don't know. It was kind of weird because I didn't know what I was going to do. Right? Was I going to come back and shoot him? You know, him and his guards. Yeah. I was conflicted, but yeah, I made my choices. Felt good.
Yeah. See here, some more news that I could have for you.
Jesus, I'm looking up one here real quick. Because I was listening, and then I went back and I rewatched that Callisto Protocol trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We may have talked about it last week, where it was banned in Japan or not. I can't remember. But it does say over here that bodes well for its vision that it may be banned in Japan, right? We know it's going to be unbanned eventually. That's how these things work. It says here that marketing has been overjoyed to share how grisly its animation and death sequences are. And they are gory. They're really good. It says there is an expectation with modern horror to perpetrate high fidelity on current gen consoles.
Man. That game looks creepy. It looks
it does. Gosh, even the screenshot, I'm like, wow, that looks really good.
I want to play it though, because it looks like it doesn't look like a scary game. It looks more like an action game that's based in horror, but like a a gory game. It looks more like a gory game than a horror game. Which I think is what it is, because they're saying that the reason they got banned in Japan was because they had too much gore. They couldn't rate it.
Yeah, I like this here. It says here, Jesus, this decision had an implication on what the Callisto Protocol's genetic makeup is built around, demonstrating that Glenn Schofield and Striking Distance were not willing to pull the punches when it comes to the game's horrific violence. So it looks like this monster is just ready to rip this guy's head off. And yeah, I think they hold back a little bit in the trailer for obvious reasons, but yeah, this game looks really good. I think it's going to make Dead Space. Well, I mean, Dead Space 1 is being remade, right? But it does make Dead Space 2 even look,
lame,
minuscule in comparison to this trailer. Though, we'll have to see when this game comes out. But it's Glenn Schofield, man, and yeah, this game looks really, even some of the screenshots are really good detail on it. So,
another news. Speaking of games and shit, Death Stranding news, Gunny. As of November 8th of this year, so today, Death Stranding has connected with over 10 million porters worldwide across PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the PC. This comes as Death Stranding is celebrating its 3rd anniversary following its launch on November 8th, 2019. So there's that. This was released by Kojima Production Studios. That's 10 million people played this game, or That's a lot of people that played this game, dude. That game is so good, man. Death Stranding is so fucking good. That game was a lot of fucking. It was really
You got a lot
memorable.
of good time out of that. Yeah, for sure.
It was a lot of fun, man. I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
I thought it was bullshit. The trailers I thought were bullshit. And I kind of just went into it kind of blind. And I was like, I'm in this shit. I'm going to deliver all the packages, bro. All of them.
Yeah. I've got another news article, Jesus. But I did forget to talk about, I did play a game called Grounded. Now there was a big update that came to.
Yeah, the 1.0 update is out now,
and it's pretty good. Ryan and another friend of his got me into their game, and so again, it's open world. This is on Xbox, Game Pass PC. I don't know if it's on Steam or not. I don't know if it's an Xbox exclusive, but yeah, check out that game. Open world adventure game. You play as like 4 different characters, and I felt like, okay, so when I did like a single player, I did play that this week earlier. So I wanted to see what the update was about. And I thought, okay, just being single player and, you're just Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, sort of, that backyard and, big tall blades of grass and spiders and beetles and, anything you can think of in fucking someone's backyard. But, yeah, I thought combat was pretty good, especially it's all melee combat, by the way. So as far as I know, there's no guns in this game. You can build yourself a base, cutting down grades of glass and other components that you can grab. So there is like a health meter with basically food and water, right? Pretty easy to find. You can store up food. But yeah, like I was looking through the list in the single player game about, what can I craft, right? Pretty small list, but man, when I got into Ryan's game, I don't know how much time him and his friend had put into this. But yeah, I'm like, dude, where's the torch? I just need to craft a torch. I've got the components because I played this game previously. Oh yeah, you got to go in the weapons and it's all the way at the bottom and I'm just scrolling through like all these weapons, and there was a lot of them. And just, yeah, it was daunting. I think just to go from basically hour 1 to, probably hour 50, in their game. So yeah, but it was cool. Like just all the stuff you can do and collect and, pretty good missions that we played. Basically these were like missions where you'll go and you'll find this like, I think he called it a research thing or whatever. You'll build like a little, not a tower, but just build up around it. Like think like Fortnite, right? Where you're going to just build around it. Press the activate button, and then here comes the horde of just beetles and spiders and roly-polies and everything coming at you. That was a blast. So I was low leveled, so I wasn't doing a lot of good because even if I put on a band-aid, a patch or whatever, it only goes up like just a tiny little bit, and then yeah, it slowly, gradually, will heal you. So, So basically I was like, well, I guess, I'll just go in and whack a red ant and then run away, with again, these were weapons and armor that even Ryan gave me, but still low leveled. But yeah, him and his friend were just wrecking house on these freaking little insects, man. But that was a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend not playing this game by yourself, but yeah, grab a few buddies, because yeah, you can actually revive each other and, I think eventually, Jesus, they're going to get. I feel like this game's going to have like some kind of AI companion. Bring in 3 others or whatever to kind of help you, just follow you around and revive you, and maybe help you gather resources or something. So it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. I recommend it for like maybe an easy open world adventure game. So yeah, it's got a little cartoony look to it, but it's still a lot of fun with friends. So. Yeah, I was on so much drugs that day, Yeah. Man. But, all right, Jesus. So I woke up this morning and I did see the CEO of Take-Two. He was on MSNBC. His name's Strauss Zelnick. So just talking about stocks, market stuff or whatever. And, some video game stuff. And the only reason I clicked on the video, I'm like, hey, what's going on, with Take-Two, I know they recently acquired some other big studios, but But anyway, so I'm looking at this article today. I'm like, what's going on over here? He says that launching new games into a subscription like Game Pass makes no sense at all. So that's not what he said this morning, but he says here, basically he told his company it's been very cooperative with both Microsoft and Sony on their subscription service when it makes sense for us. But his view regarding subscription service for games as a whole has not really changed. He maintains that there are no major differences between the linear entertainment, TV film business, and interactive video game business. So, while a subscription service may make sense for linear entertainment, he doesn't see the same viability for games. But it goes on and on. But I don't know. I mean, besides, Grand Theft Auto and GTA and Rockstar, their games, but I don't know where he's even alluding to this, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he sees more people spending money. I don't know. They already have a lot of money. You know what I mean? So he's a smart guy, but still Sony's doing it. You know what I mean? So seems like everybody's on the bandwagon over here with subscription services, which I think as a consumer, man, I just really do. I just think it benefits a lot of people for playing more games. So why not? Why not play more games, Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games I would not have played, right? So I would have never checked out and wouldn't have had the opportunity, not the opportunity, but maybe the money, right? That's the thing, right? Where I'm like, yeah, I mean, you think about it, choices are limited, right? I can't afford, to go out and get the freaking Switch and, other things. So, again, I'm doing Apple and their little Game Pass, and Sony's and Microsoft. So, yeah, the only one I can't get is Nintendo. So, right, I'm limited. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just thinking more from a business sense of things, So, don't speak for the gamers, man. How dare you? The consumer. I say play more games, guys.
Cool. And apparently Forza Horizon 5 is getting a big update. Just got it, actually. It's the Series 14 update. This update brings ray tracing into the game. It also adds other things, enhanced visuals and whatnot. But yeah. Ray tracing, Gunny. Ray tracing.
Yes. Ray tracing's good.
You need a ray tracing card, of course. The ideal card that they recommend for the best specs and best performance will be an RTX 3080 or an AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. Recommended specs are a NVIDIA GTX 1070. And, of course, we'll need 16 gigs of RAM. You can play with 8 gigs of RAM, but they recommend 16. And, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
This adds granular visual and performance options, including resolution on the PC. You can support ultra-wide as well now. The ability to unlock the frame rate for increased performance on the PC, and HDR support for higher contrast and more vibrant colors on the PC, and field of view settings on the PC. You can also they've added a bunch of new wheels that you can use on the PC, like the driving steering wheels or whatever. A bunch of those. They now also support crossplay between all the platforms. So if you're playing on the PC, on the Xbox consoles, you can play with each other now. They also added support for haptic feedback. Haptic feedback.
What?
Oh.
Wait, yeah. So hold the phone a minute. So I can play with my PS5, my DualSense controller?
Well, I'm assuming so.
Right? Instead of actually saying that, it's compatible now with
haptic feedback. It says here haptic feedback. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's got to be a Sony controller. I'm sure you could just do it, right? You could just plug in a PS5 controller. It just works,
They're saying that
I'm sure it doesn't hate Microsoft games or whatever. It's a fucking game. It's going to play the same thing.
It notices as an Xbox game, it shuts itself off.
Right? Or it's going to be something like, no, I guess it. Yeah, I'm not force feedback, haptic feedback. Are you sure you're reading that right?
No, it's haptic feedback.
Yeah.
They also said that it supports ray tracing and audio improvements. It supports ray tracing while viewing cars in Forza Vista, which offers realistic lighting, reflections, and textures when getting up close and personal with your vehicles. PCs with supported hardware can take advantage of this, as well as options to enable ray trace car reflections when in free roam, in race events, and in photo mode, even for the AI cars. Ray traced audio and ambient noises throughout the Forza Horizon 5 map is also available. The support for crossplay between all the platforms, while the Steam version of Forza Horizon 5 unfortunately does not support cross-save for keeping your progression across the platforms. All versions of Forza Horizon 5 now support full crossplay. This means that if you own it on Steam, you can play with your friends on the PC that own it on Windows, and you can also play with friends on Xbox if you have it on Steam. This works across everything now.
I just thought you could just do it always anyway because you're just logged in with your Microsoft account.
No, apparently the Steam players were like cordoned off.
Yeah, that I didn't know. I just assumed everybody played together.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I always like those options, right? Talked about this before. I'll just talk about it briefly. You know, when I first got this PC, and then I don't even think I did the upgrade first, Jesus. I think it was when I might have just gotten this monitor, right? This 165 hertz monitor, and installed. So this was before Game Pass. So Forza 7 came out, and then it was called Forza 7 Apex. So you can download it on the Windows Store. And it was free to play, and I think it had 2 maps and 3 cars. And I even bought the DLC, which you got like a couple different cars with it. And they had Halo Forge, I think that's what it was called. So I think that was it Halo 5 came? I don't even know. I think it was when Halo 5 came out. But it was Halo Forge, and yeah, those games looked freaking crisp, you know. But again, I was going from, you know, an Xbox One, which didn't even have 4K, right? So obviously my eyes were blown, you know, like my mind, you know, was like, wow, you know, this looks so good, and all these frames and all these different options. It looked amazing. So yeah. And again, I never went back, and I always just played on the Xbox, and then I had the 4K TV, you know what I mean? So I thought, okay, you know, once in a while I will like install, you know, Forza 7, you know, because now I can just get them all on PC, right? So all with a subscription service, so I can just play any of them. But yeah, I like that, man. More options is the better, right? So visualization and all that good stuff, audio, you name it.
That's right. And the ray tracing looks pretty cool, man. You can like see like the reflection of the other cars and like tail lights and headlights and.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the lighting in games like that on the PC.
Call of Duty news. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has now gone on to sell over $1 billion, Gunny.
That's right. I saw that on Twitter today. That and Overwatch did some record numbers.
Yeah. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is now the biggest opening weekend in the franchise history of any Call of Duty game. It's crossed the $1 billion mark. That's right. In just 10 days of it being out. $1 billion. The previous one was Modern Warfare 3, Gunny. Modern Warfare 3 had $800 million in the first weekend or the first 10 days of their release. So this one surpassed that by $200 million. That's insane.
Yeah, that is nuts. Yeah,
that's a lot of copies.
Yeah.
The game also saw the biggest PlayStation Store launch ever in Call of Duty history. So there's that. It says here that it's sold way more on PlayStation than any other platform.
Yeah,
isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, that is nuts, man.
No wonder Sony's scared of losing.
No wonder Jim's so mad, right? Right, if I was him, I would have done the same thing, I think, I would have. I'd be over there going, they can't buy it because we love Call of Duty. Right, we make so much money, of course, yeah. Right.
With that being said, Activision did come out early last year, or actually early this year, and said that Treyarch, who will be making the next Call of Duty title, they're usually the ones who make the Black Ops titles. They said that their development of the next Call of Duty is going to be delayed until next year. So that means they wouldn't start working on the game until later this year, apparently, when Modern Warfare 2 is out.
Yeah.
Well, usually they would have already been working on it already, just to have it out next year. But apparently they delayed the development time and extended it a little bit, they said. They're going to be skipping next year. So they said that next year they're going to be skipping 2023 as a full release title. They're not going to release any Call of Duty titles next year. They said in part that was because of the bad sales of Call of Duty Vanguard, the one that came out last year. They said that they saw a decline in sales year over year, and that last year was the worst year that they ever had. So they decided to stop and skip a year to see if that'll slow down the decrease in sales. Now, I think they can argue that it's not the games that people don't want. It's the type of game. Like Vanguard was a World War II shooter. Nobody wanted a World War II shooter last year,
I think we're World War II shootered out a little bit.
Yeah, nobody wants this shit, man. I mean, yeah, it's just no. Go modern. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, so
they
they're
just
skipping.
Don't want it, as often, for sure.
Yeah, they skipped next year, and they're saying that they'll be coming back in 2024 with the new title for Call of Duty, like a full-fledged Treyarch title. But for next year, they have planned some Call of Duty premium content for this title. So since Modern Warfare 2 is going to be a 2-year game now, so I guess we'll be playing this till November of 2024, right? They're saying that next year they're going to have some premium content dropping for this game. Now, I wonder if that's going to be like DLC, more campaign, more, I don't know, maps? I mean, what are they going to do? Because
obviously more maps.
They can't charge for the maps. So, I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, I guess they could charge for them if they wanted to, but I mean, people would be pissed if they did that.
Yeah.
No one would buy them because people would be mad. People would be like, no, I ain't buying your fucking map. Fuck you. So what are they going to do then? I guess characters, maybe?
More characters, more skins, more, yeah.
They got battle passes already.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean by they're going to add premium content. What the fuck does that mean? Because that's what they said. They're like, we're going to add premium content to this game.
Yeah, yeah. Their interpretation of it, yeah. But
what the fuck does that mean, premium content? Anyways.
But wouldn't it have been better, Jesus? Wouldn't it have been so much nicer for fucking Mr. Code Dick in charge over there? Well, I'm not that he's, but whoever just look, you know what? We're taking next year off. Our devs are going on vacation. They're all going to Bahamas, spend more time with their family because they were all cooped up in the freaking health crisis making Call of Duty games. And this is and now we've made $200 million extra, right? In freaking Call of, I don't know. But wow, yeah, you guys sucked in Cold War and we lost money, man, because we were greedy. But come on, man. At least just say that, right? They're going to be spend more time with their loved ones and more mental health days and I don't know. Yeah.
They also said that they're going to be getting maybe some paid single player campaign expansion next year. In addition to much more multiplayer support than any other Call of Duty has ever received, as this game will be the main game for the next 2 years. And new modes and shit like that, they said. So we'll see, man.
Have they ever done that? More single player stuff? I'm trying to think if
they've never done that.
I don't think they ever have in a Call of Duty game, yeah.
Not in a Call of Duty game. Yeah. So, that'd be cool, man, if they had more single player stuff. I want to play more single player shit.
Yeah. I've got something here.
Okay.
Horizon, a new MMO is reportedly in the works. Sony has said it had partner with South Korea's NCSoft, who previously worked with titles like Guild Wars for the project. An MMORPG set in Guerrilla Games' Horizon universe may be in the works, according to a new report. This comes from the South Korean news site and states that Sony has partnered with the South Korean game developer and publisher NCSoft for the project. According to the report, the title is listed as Project H in the job ads. What do you think? Is that something you want to play?
Maybe.
I would think they would. I want to say that if this is obviously on, I'd say PS4 and 5, right? It's an MMO, but also PC, put it out there on the Steams, obviously they want to get more players. It'd be a free-to-play style type game. So it just reminds me of I'm not going to put it in the same thing as New World or anything, but why not, right? Bows and arrows, swords and shit. Hell yeah. So it would just be set in that universe. Killing those dinosaur machines, man. Creatures. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I want an MMO from that series. I guess it could be cool. What are you gonna do? I'll have us survive in this fucking world with robot dinosaurs and shit?
Yeah, that would be it, right?
It would be like Ark Survival Evolved with robots instead of dinosaurs.
You want more arrows? You want the golden arrows, Jesus?
Yeah. Oh, the golden arrows.
Go buy the emeralds, Jesus, on the store. Go to the store, get the emeralds. You can get golden arrows.
I'll have to buy
Otherwise, you just need the white arrows. That's it. Just regular, plain, vanilla arrows. But yeah, that'd be fun. I was thinking something like that, like Horizon, Gears of War, right? That would be another cool thing to get. Play that in MMO style. I think they could make that work. Man, can you imagine that? Like a Gears of War, how they're always smaller maps,
Yeah.
Right? Because you're just kind of they're just smaller, right? But just imagine something that's so much larger, And you just ride a creature around. Kill shit with your guns, your chainsaw. Fuck yeah. Be awesome. But
what else is next? What's next, Gunny? I don't have no more news.
No more news. I don't see any more. We just kind of did this on the fly, guys,
We did.
We're searching up news and just talking about stuff. So I guess I can move on to the console corner. Not much has changed from last week. For let's see what we got here for PlayStation Plus. We have Nioh 2. That's your Souls-like game. And another one called Heavenly Bodies. And the Lego Harry Potter collection. Remind me, Jesus, I gotta get in. I already have Nioh 2. I don't know if I have it on Steam, but I just need to claim it on my PlayStation Plus if I haven't already. So, yes, moving on over to Xbox. I always call it Gold, right? But I guess it would still be Gold even if you've got the Game Pass. But you can now get just either of these two games, Predatorians, which is an HD remaster, and Dead End Job. So go claim them, don't play them. Right? Just get them and add them to your collection. So as soon as it says start downloading, just go in and hit cancel. Because you're not going to play those games, right? You just want them as part of your collection. Let's see. Let's see here, Jesus. Xbox Game Pass, right? This is something I got to do for Sony more often. So some of the games we have that are recently uploaded or added, excuse me. I think I've talked about it last week, which is the Sig Nollis game. If you haven't played that, that's something I'm really into, right? It's action adventure. I think it's more of a top-down type of game. Gunfire Reborn, I do recommend checking that out. So again, on console and PC. And over here you've also got The Frog Detective, The Entire Mystery. So no idea what that is. But we do have Persona 5 Royale. So yeah, wasn't that formerly a Nintendo or Sony game? But yeah, Persona 5 Royale, check that out. And yeah, that's all we have for Game Pass. Again, I'm not looking on the console. There might be other things that may be just on that. So, but yeah, let's move over to our Epic Store. What we have for free games over here. So your first one is Filament. So isn't that the thing that goes in a light bulb or something? So, oh yeah, geez, I wanted to read that really quick. I know I brought it up here. So Filament, which I didn't claim yet. So let's see what this is here. Because the description kind of caught my eye over here. It says, solve challenging cable-based puzzles and uncover what really happened to the crew of the Alabaster. So it looks like a side scroller, but it looks like he's got a rope or something. So it's rope puzzles, people, not cable. So could be a cable. But it says here, now with a hint system for those ultra tricky puzzles. Seems like something I would add, right? I got a hint system. It's basically like a big fucking neon light, and it's an arrow pointing at this button that I can't figure out. It's gunny mode, right? You know, I love puzzle games. Some of them, yeah, they're okay, right? Like Portal, you know. To me, it's a puzzle game, which I love both of those games. They're great. Finished both of them. Some I've even played in co-op, so, right? Because I'm the dummy over here, right? I need the other person to figure it out. Help me out, right? But yeah, definitely go check those out. Grab those games. See what's next for next week. So, Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, which I already own. Apparently, I must have claimed this a while ago. They might have just given it away. So, I think they did. I don't believe I purchased this game, Jesus. It might have been gifted to me. I might have got it in a Humble Bundle or on CD keys. But, yeah, I've talked about this game before where I don't know. It's got that Vietnam. I don't know. It's not a Battlefield, man. The last time I even played a match in this was, again, first-person shooter. Looks pretty decent, gets good frames, but I'd spawn in, Jesus. I swear I would, like, run through the jungle, not very far, and then boom, I'm dead, you know? It's like, what the hell, man? You know, I didn't even see the enemy coming. So, yeah. That, I did not like it, man. That was pretty much an uninstall, even after, like, the third time. Didn't like it. Don't recommend it, but you can claim it over on the Epic Store. Oh, Jesus. We talked about this earlier this week. Hell Let Loose. I bought that for the PC because a listener reached out and he's like, hey, you can get that through the Humble Bundle. And I know that was like through... I looked at it, so it wasn't part of like, you got to keep the subscription going. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this. But let me check CD keys first. And I saw it was only... whatever it was, $16 or something. 17. So went ahead and picked that up. I did play around last night, and I played a match earlier in the week. And yeah, so I didn't. It's funny, like I either couldn't figure out how to talk to people or didn't have time to like research. I'm over here going to press the talk or whatever, but yeah, it. I mean, it pretty much plays like you would like, you know, on the console itself. So, but obviously higher refresh rates and stuff. So, but yeah, I know. I think it was, forgot who it was that was on Discord that has it on the PC. So now we can actually play together. So, but yeah, I've been talking to the streamer Jesus, and I was trying to get some pointers from him about, okay, so outside of like infantry, you know, if I want to be, you know, a commander or, you know, play different roles, right, which are a lot more responsibility and how to actually play the game correctly, right, to be more strategic. So, you know, that's the thing, Jesus, where, okay, if you're putting down what I just call them spawn points, right? I think they're called OCs or something, right? Where do you place them, you know, on the map, you know? How do you fucking gain ground, you know, over the enemy? That was the thing, right? It's not just willy-nilly run in, you know, get shot in the head, respawn, you know, and then walk another mile back to the fucking battlefield, right? So, man, if you're playing this game right, Jesus, you know, and you're the commander, boom, and you're laying down those spawn beacons, you know, man, it's like it's a fucking life changer, right? So, I mean, it's going to improve your game so much more. So, especially Jesus, when he knows, like, okay, so some of the enemy is, they know there's a spawn beacon nearby. They don't know, maybe not know exactly where that thing is, but It's like, at least he can call it out and say, look, guys, yeah, don't go to fucking B24, you know, whatever it's going to be even be called. Just don't spawn on that one right now. There's too many enemies over there. You know, go to like the fucking, there's like 3 others that I put up, because you can put them up like once every minute, I believe, or once every 2 minutes as a commander. So, right, if you're actually communicating, you know, maybe not like down to the T or whatever, but yeah, you can actually win some fucking matches, you know, and not just running like an idiot, you know. Follow everybody else. So pay attention to your commander. You're gonna be fine, soldier. So maybe help out with supplies, you know, build some defenses, stuff like that. I think this is one game that I like that, you know, kind of separates it from a Call of Duty or Battlefield, right? Where there's other things you can be doing, which might be good for me, you know. So. I don't know. I always just had fun just getting in there and, you know, shooting people. So fun stuff too. I didn't like that whole fucking, you know, run a fucking mile to where the battle's actually taking place. So,
yeah.
No, I did not like that at all. It wasn't like, it didn't turn me off, right? It was like, okay, well, I don't even know who the commander is. He's not speaking, right? And he's not putting down a spawn beacon. So damn it, you know. And I've even had arguments, Jesus, with people. Not arguments, but do you want to be the commander? I don't want to. Do you want? You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a different thing on the PC. I really do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a different experience altogether. So.
Should be.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we have for the show, guys. It's a quick one.
Any community questions or anything?
I didn't check Facebook to see if there were any on there. So let me see here. Nothing on the Discords. No, nothing on there. So see nothing. I know that Bill or somebody had posted. Maybe not. I thought there were some other free games here that I might have missed. So I think that's it, guys.
Alright, well, with that being said, where can people find you, Gunny?
Yeah, go find me over on the Steam Machines, FX, Uplays, Xbox, PlayStation, not PlayStation, but yeah, as GunnyChief, one word, and over on PlayStation as HGP_Gunny. Go find the Mayo on Discord and all those stuff as the Mayo. Not the mayonnaise, just the Mayo, right? He's on the Steam and Epics and stuff like that. Playing some RPGs and some did. Not Dark Souls. Some Souls likes. No. Where do we find you, Jesus?
Find me on everything that Jesus walks out. I'll be playing some Call of Duty this week, as well as some more Battlefield. I don't know what else. I'll find something else to play. Anyways, we're out of here. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next week's edition of Horrible Gamers Podcast. Hopefully the Mayo is back. I don't know. That guy's weird. Anyways, we're out of here. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, kids. Love you.